What's shaking, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk to you about my newest addiction called the Cycle Frontier. It's being called in the community Sparkov or Tarkov Lite because it definitely takes influence from that game, but it's definitely its own thing too, and it's something special I'm really enjoying. But if you've ever played something like Tarkov or an instance-based game, you know that at first, as a beginner, it's very overwhelming and very daunting. So what I want to do with this video is give you some tips and tricks so you feel comfortable, and when you download the game you can feel like you can just hit the ground running and have some great instances right away. So let's just get going. I want to give you guys a quick warning before we start that these tips are for the beta version of the Cycle Frontier. When it releases, I'm sure they will change a few things here or there, but I'm sure this video will still be pretty relevant, so don't worry. So one of the first things that I want to tell you guys about is insurance on your loadout, because it's so important as a new player, because you're going to die constantly. It's just the way these types of games work. You have to get a feel for them. You have to start learning the maps, and then you start surviving more. But as a new player, you're going to die over and over again. It's just inevitable. So this is a basic kit that I would recommend to new players, and I will be putting out a video on beginner kits, intermediate, and so forth later on, but let's not talk about that right now. Right now we're going to talk about how I have a small backpack, I've got the handgun, I've got the armor, and I've got the helmet. And what happens is when you put insurance on, it's going to insure everything in this section. So nothing in your backpack, this is all lost no matter what. So if you want less stims, less bullets, it's understandable, but this is always being insured. Now this whole thing cost 1,000 Kmart dollars, okay, but with insurance on top of that, it's 200. So we have to add 200 to the total, which now turns into 1,200 Kmarts. But we're guaranteed, if we die, 500 of those back. That's a pretty good insurance policy. That's 41% of your loadout, not including what's in your backpack, right? Now you could argue, you know what, I'm going to survive, I don't need to do that, like it's stupid. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, you are going to die. Like, it's inevitable, you're going to die, and if you do get out, you're definitely making more than the 200. So why not just insure your stuff in worst case scenario? This is a no-brainer. This is something you guys should be doing with every kit, and I do with every kit, because worst case scenario, hey, I get money even if I die. Something else that's really important if you're on a raid to know about is your safe pockets here. Okay, so say we're in a raid and we found the salvage insulation and this armory key. Now, armory key is pretty sweet. You know, you can unlock some doors with it, but you might not use it this raid. But you want to make sure you keep it. Well, you have your safe pocket area, and anything that gets put in here, guess what? You get to keep even if you die. So we found these two things. We can do this and we could put it in here. But remember, these things at the bottom right say how much they weigh. So this salvage insulation weighs 7 pounds. This armory key weighs 1 pound. So we're 8 out of 10 pounds in our safe pockets. Or if you're just starting, say you're about to go into a raid, you can just put some bullets in here so that you know if you die right off the get-go, hey, at least I saved some of my ammo, or if I want, I could put some of my stims in there. It's all up to you, but just know that your safe pockets, whatever goes in here, you get to keep, and you upgrade this. Now, at first, you're only going to be able to put 5 pounds of stuff in your pockets until you upgrade it through your quarters, and I'll explain all that stuff right now. There's a lot in here, but it's pretty straightforward, so we're just going to go over it once. So we got generators, inventory, workbench. So I'm going to go with inventory first, and it's exactly what it sounds like, right? It opens up more stash size. Each upgrade will open up 25 more slots, and then over here on the right will increase our safe pocket capacity. And as you can see what you need to upgrade each thing. You need K marks, you need scripts usually, which we'll get to in a second, and then we also need things that found in the world. So you got compound sheets for this one and smart mesh, and then for my other inventory one, I need scrap metal and compound sheets. Now the cool thing, just to throw it out there, is it kind of tells you where it is. Like if you need scrap metals, it says can often be found around Korvalev, structures such as East Collection Point. So you know if you go there, you might be able to find some of this. I kind of like that little thing they added to the game. I think it really helps players out. So that is your inventory, your workbench. When you upgrade this, everything that you do in inventory and generators, it's going to take less time because everything takes time. This will take 11 minutes. It'll take K marks and it takes these resources. So instead of 11 minutes, if you upgrade something in workbench, maybe it takes 10, you know, and as you go on and on down the tree, I'm sure it takes longer and longer and goes, instead of minutes, it'll be hours. Now, lastly, you got generators here. And this is something that's really nice for it to be a free to play game and something to make sure that even if you die over and over again, you just wait a few hours and you're going to get something back. So what the generators does is over a period of time, you're going to get free K marks. So right now I can increase my K mark generator rate by 58. The capacity it can hold, it can go from 1,000 to 4,000. I get Aurorium, which I'll explain later, of course. And then also you get a daily supply crate, which is really nice. And it goes from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. So it's better and better things you would get in those daily crates. And your generator is just behind you. And all it's doing is, as you can see, I get 10 Aurorium per hour. I don't even know how to say that. Aurorium. I'm sorry, guys. I get 116 K marks per hour, but I can only hold 4,100 right now. And every 24 hours, I get a supply crate. So it's really important to be always upgrading when you can. And as you can see, I can't do these ones yet. Right? I can't do these ones yet. And that's because I haven't upgraded the whole thing. And to do that, you need to do a certain amount of upgrades. And then of course you need different materials. I need copper wire now, and I need scrap metal, and then I can construct it for 13,000. So there's a lot here. I understand that. And I'm sorry if I didn't explain it that well, but I hope you guys just got the gist of this. Now, remember how I was talking about those scripts and how we needed them to do upgrades in our quarters? Well, those come from the 3 factions that we can gain different tasks from. So we've got Korvalev right here, right near the bar. We've got the ICA in the corner, which are the blue guys. And then we've got Osiris in the right, which are more green. I don't know. That's how I know them. Red, blue, green. And to be honest, I really like Osiris. I don't know what it is, but they're my go-to. But when you go to these faction leaders, we can collect, or we can get easy tasks, medium tasks, or hard tasks. When you first start, you can only get the easy. And as you complete tasks, you get these rewards that are more like faction points. Let's think of them as faction points because that's technically what they are. So as you complete these tasks, you're going to gain faction points, which then level up your faction level. And as you gain your faction level, you can unlock the medium tasks and the hard tasks. Now, the other way to get faction points is also by going to their armory in their room. So, you know, the Osiris has an armory, the ICA has an armory, and the Korvalev have an armory. And they're all different, meaning they all give you different special guns. As you can see, the Scarabs here, which I love. I think it's fantastic. But as you upgrade their faction points and their levels, they're going to give you different guns that you can unlock and get. And they're all different. And this goes with consumables, tools, utilities, everything, right? So right now I can get strong stims from these guys. In a couple of levels, I'll be able to get strong med kits. And the only way I can get strong stims right now is from Osiris, to be honest. So it's always good to be upgrading them and seeing what you can get. But not only can you get these faction points from completing quests, but every time you sell to them, you get their rep and more K marks. So if I sold all this stuff right now, I'd get 3,000 K marks, but I would also get 158 rep. So always remember that when you're trying to sell stuff, because you have to look at, okay, who do I want to upgrade? Who am I close to getting maybe medium tasks from? And stuff like that. So that's your bare basics knowledge about these factions. And I do want to let you know one other thing, okay? These contracts can be done You can do multiple contracts at once. And what I mean by that, this is a little advanced, but so right now I have deliver miniature reactors, right? Okay, but I also have deliver miniature reactors here as a medium quest. So if I got 3 in one raid, I would be able to knock both of these out. And same thing goes for over here. Not all the time, but you can always look at your medium quests and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to do the easy one, and then the medium one I'll do in the background, right? So like this one, I need to hunt striders and deliver waterweed filaments. So I have to go kill some striders. I have to go get waterweed filaments. But at the same time, I'm going to be like, okay, I need these interactive screens and I need these field stabilizers, because what can happen is you can cancel this and then just accept this if you have the parts and then just give it to them. The only, I know this is advanced, this is a little, ahead of things, but the only time that this is bad is when you cancel these, the hunt striders, say you have 2 out of 5 and then you cancel this so that you can complete this task, this hunt striders will go back down to 0. Of course, the waterweed filaments will always be whatever you have because it's in your inventory. But if you have to kill something, that goes back down to 0. So just a heads up. So always check out what every single guy has. The Scarab, I love that pistol. But everyone has different stuff. And as you're leveling them up, they're going to be able to unlock new and different items that you can just buy straight from them. Okay, I promise we're going to go into raid and I'm going to show you some cool stuff while you're in raid and some tips to help you survive. But I'm going to have to show you one more thing in this hub area. And I know it's not super sexy, but it has to do with crafting. So this is a really important area, and that's your workbench. So here you can craft really advanced armors, backpacks, attachments, consumables, and even weapons. And something you should be looking at is like what you need just for even the green stuff when you're starting, right? So to craft this helmet, I need 1 strider head. I need more nickel, K-marks, who cares about, but it's the crafting materials you need, right? To get the shield that is better than your basic one, I need nickel. I already have the Rattler skin, but I need the nickel. So I'm going to try to find some nickel. And it's just kind of, this is good to look at so that you're kind of reminded, oh, this is still valuable to me. Or I remember I needed this for a craft. I use this especially for backpacks. I think backpacks is one of the most important things you should bring in, is a bigger backpack, because you can always be quiet and sneaky, but you can only put so much into your backpack to bring out of raid. And you want to bring out the most you can. So to do that, your regular backpack you can buy from a trader is 150 capacity. This one's 250, and all you need is salvaged insulation. So right away, I'm going to be like, okay, on this raid, I'm going to try to focus on some quests, but if I find some salvaged insulation, awesome. And same thing with this. If I find some hardened bone plates or some textiles, I'm going to pick those up. And also what's really cool here is, say you do survive a raid and you took some damage and your armor's not 100%, you can just go to this repair tab and you can repair your armor. Now let's go into Fortuna here, and I'm going to show you some cool things while you're in raid. One of the best things about this game is how fast you get dropped into a raid. I just love it. It's like no time at all. So you always get dropped at random places around the map. And what you want to do first, this is what I do, is I bring up the map and I see where I landed and where my extracts are. As you can see, you always have 2 extracts. And these are the only 2 ways of you to get off the map, is going here and calling in your evac ship. There is one other way technically, and that is if you catch another player evacing out, you kill them and then you take their ship. But as a beginner, I'm going to tell you, you should be focusing on going to these 2 areas so that you have a guaranteed extract. Okay, so now you're in the world and maybe you just spotted someone, right? Maybe you just spotted someone out in the wild and you're like, I don't want to fight. So there is push to talk in this game, so you can say, hey, friendly. But if you're like me, or you don't have a mic, I have my mic hooked up to my stream PC, not my game PC. So I don't have push to talk working. You can hold F3 and put down this little symbol of peace here. So if they see you, maybe you can hide somewhere, put your symbol down so that they know you're peaceful. It doesn't always work, or sometimes it works and then they'll backstab you, but I'm just letting you know, if you want to try for that last ditch effort of, hey, just let's be friends, you can always hold F3 and put down the symbol of peace. Now, while you're going through the world, you are going to be running around, walking, crouching, and you might be having a bigger gun than just, say, a pistol. And what happens is, if you use a bigger gun, you're definitely going to be running slower. Think of this like CSGO. If you hold or press V, you can bring out your knife and you run a lot faster. So even if you're overweight, you're going to run faster with a knife out than if you had your main gun out. So just remember that if you want to run fast away from someone, or you're trying to hide and you're trying to run, pressing V, getting out your knife and running away is going to be a lot better. Okay, so we're coming up on some striders and some of those spider boys, and something not a lot of people know about actually is they communicate with each other, which is pretty scary. So watch this. If I go near a strider, they make noise and they're going to communicate with their other people that I'm around. So they're going to try to communicate saying, hey, there's a player over there, and then they'll rush you. So just be notice of that. Also, if you bring out your knife, the striders are one hit. Oh, I have to run away. Sorry. I'm just going to quickly run away. I am hurting. So striders, if you hold left mouse button when you have your knife out, you can do one slash to the strider. And to be honest, I wouldn't recommend you do that until you're more familiar with the game. Okay, something else I really want you guys to know about is, say you're with another person and they ran out of ammo, right? So you can go into your inventory. If you hold shift and press on the stack, you can split your items. So I can split that and then I can drop it for my buddy so that he can get some more ammo. So just remember that if you need to split, you hold shift, you click on it, and it'll tell you how much you can split it. While you're in the world, you'll also find different types of guns in the game, but you will also find these ones that are called rusty, that look identical to your normal ones that you can buy from the traders, but they just have rusty in the front of it. So what's the difference, right? Well, as you can see here, when at ADS, I get that nice red dot, everything's clean and bright, I can really see what's in front of me. With a rusty one, it's pretty mediocre. It's, as you can see, the screen's all beat up, and this goes for the SMGs and everything. But the biggest flaw to these rusty guns is you can't put attachments on them. So you see how I can put a bunch of attachments on the pistol if I want? You can't do that with rusty guns. So, you know, pick them up if you want, but it is good to know that they're really not worth anything. And remember, if you do put something in here, say it's 127 out of 150, right? So I'm almost at capacity for my backpack. Whatever is in your second slot here does not count for your overall backpack weight or anything. So always put a good side gun here. You know what? If I didn't find a good secondary other K28, I'd put the rusty one there because it's worth money. But because, you know what, I already found another pistol, the rusty's not really worth it, I'm going to dump it. I truly believe I'm going to find something better. Now, weight does play a big part in this game. So there is a thing you can bring in with you called the mineral scanner, and when you press it, you can see where you can pickaxe things and get minerals. But to be honest, when you're new and you're using a basic backpack, it takes up space and it takes up weight for other items that might be more important to you. But when you're just walking by things and there's a shimmering rock, it's easy. You can tell right away that it definitely has some goodies in it. So you're just going to smack it a couple of times and grab those goodies. And the cool thing about this is once you're done grabbing all the goodies from it, the rocks around it, once you grab everything, the rocks will kind of disintegrate once it's done everything. See how it disintegrated? Because I grabbed everything from it. It just is kind of telling you, hey, don't hit this anymore because it's not worth it. It's all gone. I like that little feature, and it's really quite nice. Now we've collected a bunch of loot here, and as you can see, our backpack only holds 150 pounds, and we're at 147.9 out of 150, which means we're pretty much full. And there is a big difference between you running with an empty backpack and you running with a full backpack. So I'm going to do both right now for you guys to tell the difference and see how much of a difference it is and how much more loud you are when you are full of loot than when you just have pretty much nothing in there. And I am going to put up the audio a little bit just so you guys can hear it more. So here's running with a lot of loot. Okay, and now I'm gonna drop my bag here and we're gonna run without a lot of loot. Not only are you faster, but you don't make that big chunk sound in the background. So now we're at our evac site. You can see on our map, sorry, let me bring up the map here. We're right near it. So you can first see that we're close because it says press Y to call evac ship. And also you can hear that little beeping in the distance. Now I do have a couple of guys here I should deal with first, and they're already going to come on me. Okay, cool. Or that came out weird, but anyways, so I'm going to call the evac ship, and you have to remember that they are going to be able to see the ship come. So some people that are around might come after you. And to be honest, you know what? I'm going to dump some of these, grab this scrap metal I need for a quest. Oh, that's nice. So the ship's coming. It makes noise. You can see it in the sky when it's about to land, and other people can see that also. So you have to be careful and just make sure that no one's going to be coming up on you. Okay, so make sure you're not underneath it to die from that, or the doors. Remember, the ship can kill you. So what I usually do is I usually just try to get into a corner, so you know, a little bit of sections blocked out, so you know no one can shoot me from over here. And in the top there you can see that the purple bar is just growing right now, and that means that we're about to take off. And boom, we got out. At the end, you can see here what loot we got, and at the bottom you can see the loot value, 10,000, not too shabby for just a pistol run. Oh, we completed this task that we wanted to. And something else that I want to just let you guys know about, I know it's going to be very small, but unless you put all the items that you got from raid into your inventory, you're going to be running overweight even in your game hub. So, you know, after you come in here, just dump everything so that you're not overweight. And now you can run all nimbly bimbly like. There are a ton more tips that I could be telling you, but the video is already getting pretty long in the tooth, and I think these are great beginner tips just for you to get a handle on the game. Now, one thing I do want to say is the game devs have been unreal. This is just a beta. The game will be ending on November 8th and then going into just developing it more, and it's going to be coming out hopefully early 2022. It's going to be free to play, and it just looks like it's going to be a home run. I'm really excited about this game. It's really up my alley. And I have to tell you, the devs are unreal with communicating what's going on. They're listening to the player base. I can't say enough amazing things about these devs. In all honesty, the communication has been top notch. So expect a lot more videos on this game from me, because you know what? I'm just loving it. So I want to make content for it. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It's free for you guys. It does mean the world to me. I will be playing this on Twitch a lot, so twitch.tv/Geekseh. And you know what? Thank you guys so much just for watching this video. It really does mean a lot to me. So until next time, I'll just talk to everyone later.